Today, over 1 million tourists cram into a narrow, suffocating gorge in southern Jordan, their cameras raised, waiting for a ghost to appear. The air tastes of red dust and cheap sunscreen, while the relentless clatter of horse hooves against ancient paving stones breaks the silence. Then the canyon walls peel back, and a 130-foot-tall temple, carved entirely from a bleeding rock face, slams into view. This is Petra, but the sandstone columns you see lie to you. We think of Petra as a grand architectural achievement, a magnificent capital built by masters of stone. It is not. Petra is a survival mechanism. It stands as a defiant fortress built by desert phantoms who weaponize the one resource more valuable than gold: water. How did illiterate goat herders build a megacity in a wasteland that kills humans in 48 hours? And why, after amassing unimaginable wealth, did they vanish from the earth? It is 312 BC. You stand knee-deep in the scorching, blinding dunes of the Arabian Desert. The sun blisters your skin. The air burns your lungs. You are a Nabataean. You own no houses. You plant no crops. And if anyone tries to force you to build a roof over your head, you kill them. Your people survive because you know the desert's greatest secret. Your tribe seals hidden underground cisterns with clay, making them undetectable to anyone else. You watch as Antigonus the One-Eyed, a powerful successor to Alexander the Great, marches his heavily armored Greek phalanx into your wasteland to steal your wealth. They expect barbarians. They find ghosts. You do not fight them in the open. You let the desert rot their minds. You strike their supply lines in the dead of night, and you watch them die of thirst. Your wealth does not come from the rocks. It comes from the smell of the gods. You inhale the sharp, piney scent of raw frankincense, mixed with the sweat of 1,000 camels. Every grain of myrrh, every bundle of Chinese silk, every sack of Indian pepper moving to the Mediterranean passes through your hands. You slap a staggering 25% toll on every caravan.
This is the finest frankincense in all the region. It
Here
is
a
indeed
truth
of pure
that
quality,
defies
my
logic.
friend. Then let
The
us strike a
greatest
fair
stone
bargain
carvers
for
of
your
the ancient
silk.
world despised stone. For centuries, the Nabataeans considered permanent homes an invitation for conquest. Yet sitting on mountains of silver,
This is the
your
toll
kings
for the
realize they
passage.
need an impenetrable vault. They choose a jagged, sun-baked canyon called Rockmoon. You do not build from the ground up. You hang suspended from hemp ropes hundreds of feet in the air, chiseling downward into the sheer cliff face. You destroy the very rock ledge you stand on as you sculpt a city out of the living mountain. A golden era begins, but the desert demands a heavy toll. It is the year 9 BC. You walk the bustling, colonnaded streets of Petra under the reign of King Aretas IV. The air smells of roasting lamb, cardamom, and the damp, impossible scent of fresh water. You are standing in a valley that receives barely 6 inches of rain a year, yet 30,000 people, roughly the size of a packed Major League Baseball stadium, live around you in absolute luxury.
This
Gardens
city grows
bloom in the
more
dust.
magnificent every
Fountains
day.
splash in the courtyards of the elite. How? Look up at the canyon walls. You trace hundreds of miles of terracotta pipes which your engineers carved directly into the rock, curving at a precise gradient of exactly 1 degree. This angle forces the water to flow smoothly, preventing pressure buildups that would shatter the clay. You are witnessing a feat of hydraulic engineering that rivals the ingenuity of the Hoover Dam. When terrifying, roaring flash floods tear through the Seek, your people do not panic. They throw up massive stone dams and divert them. You stand before the Al-Khazneh, the magnificent treasury. Look closely at the statues. They project a bizarre, beautiful hallucination of cultures. Egyptian goddesses, Greek columns, and Assyrian eagles all blend together. Why? Because you act as the ultimate middleman. You absorb the cultures of the people you train, partner with foreign as a brilliant marketing strategy to make wealthy merchants feel right at home while you empty their pockets. But your absolute monopoly breeds jealousy. Across the Mediterranean, the most lethal military machine in human history turns its gaze toward your canyon. Rome does not want to trade with you anymore. Rome wants to own you. The shadows of legionnaires gather at the edge of the sand. It is 106 AD. You watch in grim, suffocating silence as the Roman Emperor Trajan's legions march through the sea, their iron armor glinting in the narrow shafts of sunlight. There is no grand battle, no heroic last stand. You surrender your independence to save your families. At first, the Romans bring grand illusions of progress. They build a massive sweeping theater capable of seating 8,000 spectators, callously carving it straight through the sacred Nabataean tombs. You hear the deafening roar of theatrical crowds and gladiatorial combat echoing off the sandstone cliffs. But Rome operates as a parasite.
Let this theater stand as a monument to our legion.
Caravans,
Carve it deep into the very bone of the mountain.
Ships sailing the Red Sea. The gold stops flowing. The foreign merchants disappear. Your city, once the beating heart of global commerce, begins to slowly starve. Then, the ultimate nightmare arrives. It is the morning of May 19th, 363 AD. You are walking toward the great temple when the ground beneath you emits a guttural, terrifying roar. The canyon walls violently convulse. The shaking throws you violently to the stone floor as blinding red dust chokes the sky. Massive 1,000-ton columns snap like dry twigs and crash into the streets, crushing everything beneath them. The thunder of splitting bedrock swallows the screams of the dying. When the violent shaking stops and the dust clears, you rush to the aqueducts. You stare in absolute soul-crushing
Flee for your lives!
The earthquake has violently shattered intricate terracotta veins that keep the city alive. Deep cracks sever the dams. The underground cisterns split open, bleeding your precious water into the thirsty earth. Without its engineered water system, the city becomes just a beautiful graveyard. You pack what little you can carry, turn your back on the magnificent carved facades, and walk out into the unforgiving desert. The sand reclaims its own. Petra stands as a profound reminder of human fragility. The Nabataeans mastered an environment that actively tried to kill them, building a paradise of wealth in a barren wasteland. They carved monuments into mountains, assuming their legacy remained permanent. Yet, a shift in global economics and a single geological spasm erased them for a millennium. Even today, 85% of Petra remains buried under the sand, hiding its final secrets in the dark. These red stones draw us in, not just for their beauty, but because they ask a haunting question. If a civilization this brilliant can vanish, what makes us immune? Thank you for walking through the sands of time with me today. If you felt the desert heat in this journey, leave a comment below and subscribe so we can uncover the next great mystery together.